What is going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. My name is Richie, and we have some great news to talk about. Jalen Brunson is willing to sign a contract extension with the New York Knicks this summer that will give him a 4-year, $156 million extension. Now, the big reason why this is big news, now, it's not official yet. He did not sign the contract. But the reason why this needs to be talked about is because Jalen Brunson has a decision to make in the summer. And the decision is simple. He can either sign this contract extension because, listen, the New York Knicks do have 2 more years with Jalen Brunson under contract, right? He does have a player opt-out year. It's a descending deal. But Jalen Brunson, if he does not sign an extension this summer and he goes into next season without an extension and say he plays the same exact way he did this past year, he will be eligible for a 5-year, $270 million extension, a supermax. So the New York Knicks can get Jalen Brunson for a steal if he decides to do this, which all indications is trending towards Jalen Brunson making this decision. This is big news. I was talking about this in the middle of the season, that what is Jalen Brunson going to do? Will he actually take a discount? And listen, we're talking about a discount even though he's still going to be getting paid a lot of money. Okay, it's not like he's not getting short hand of the stick. He's still getting millions and millions of dollars here. But at the end of the day, he could have easily said, nah, I'm better than that contract. I'm doubling down on myself. I'm going to go out there and prove that I'm worth a supermax and get a 5-year, $270 million. That's not what seems to be the case. All indications are pointing to Jalen Brunson is ready to sign a 4-year, $156 million extension with the Knicks. In total, it will become a 5-year, $181 million restructured deal for Brunson, a potentially massive steal for the New York Knicks instead of him waiting until 2025 for more money. That tweet is from Evan Seardy. And this report's coming from Steve Popper. If you guys want, Stephen Popper, if you want to get the report, the link is down below in the description if you want to read the article for yourself, folks, on Newsday.com. This is really good because this also tells you who Jalen Brunson is as a human being. It also tells you the type of player he is, how selfless he is. It really is all nothing but positive things here. Obviously, we all are still stinging off of the series loss to the Indiana Pacers, right? We wanted to win that series, and the fact that Jalen Brunson ended off the season on breaking his left hand, his shooting hand, is devastating. It's absolutely devastating. And I think that Jalen Brunson understands that he was not been able to, unfortunately, his first year with the Knicks ended pretty much the same way the second year with the Knicks, getting eliminated in round number 2. And he said in the press conference after the game that he feels like he let the fans down. Now, I don't think anybody is going to be blaming Jalen Brunson at all. There's a lot of factors to reasons why the Knicks were not able to beat the Pacers. But at the end of the day, for Jalen Brunson to go out there and be a selfless player and putting the team ahead of himself and not trying to double down and be selfish and try to get a supermax contract, that tells you all you need to know about who he is as a basketball player. He's the face of this New York Knicks team. He is an MVP caliber player, okay? He is somebody that is absolutely proving to be the face of New York City. He's brought this Knicks team somewhere where we've never seen it before. We've never seen the Knicks this relevant, never this good. And the best thing about this Knicks team that I keep telling everybody to keep your heads up high, even though we're coming off a series loss, is that this team is built for sustainability. There's something to be excited about for the future. This is not a short-term thing. This isn't a one and done. We have Jalen Brunson in the prime of his career, potentially locked up for 5 seasons if he signs this deal, which it seems like he will. We have Josh Hart signing an extension this past summer. We got Dante DiVincenzo locked up long-term. We have a 3-year window here, you can say. We have Deuce McBride locked up for long-term, right? The big contract situation is going to be OG Anunoby, Isaiah Hartenstein, and those boys. That we could talk about in another video. But I feel like Jalen Brunson really is proving and winning the hearts of Knicks fans. Because, not to take a shot at Melo, but this was never the case with Carmelo Anthony. He would always look for the bag. Nothing but love and respect for Carmelo. But this is showing that this culture that we have is fantastic. Let's also thank you, Keith, for reminding me. Let's not forget about the assets in the Knicks draft picks that we have. We have 2 first-rounders this year. We have so many assets. for the future of this Knicks basketball team. This is something to be excited about, folks. This is not a one and done or a two and done. We have a lot of positive things. Jalen Brunson embodies what New York is all about. Absolutely. I love him. I love him too. Despite the second round loss, this feels like the beginning of something, not an end. Exactly, JR. Well said, my friend. This is what I'm saying. This feels like we're starting to see something special brew instead of feeling like, what could have been, right? The only thing that we're thinking about what could have been is if the Knicks stayed healthy. If the Knicks stayed healthy. Because I'm willing to run it back this year. I'm willing to keep the band together. I know that might be I know it's some debates going on Knicks Twitter right now about should we run it back? Should we add another star? What it looks like it. Like, I think this Knicks team, if healthy, can compete with anybody. I genuinely believe that. We were one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals without our second All-Star, without our primary elite defender OG, without our big man down low, Mitchell Robinson, and without Bojan Bogdanovic, our key bench scorer. That's 4 huge players injured. Not to mention Josh Hart playing through an ab strain in the final game of the season in Game 7, and Jalen Brunson fracturing his hand to go out for the rest of the game because who knows? If Jalen Brunson didn't fracture his hand, we know who Brunson is. He could have somehow caught steam and came back in that game and won the game at the Garden in Game 7 in comeback fashion. Not to say that's guaranteed if he didn't fracture his hand, but you never know. The injuries completely killed this Knicks team. Completely. Heat fan here. The Knicks are for real for a long time. That's all I ever wanted. The Heat are a perfect example of this. Every year they're in it. I mean, the Heat's interesting because they are always like flirting the play-in tournament, and then they get in the playoffs and they're playing great. I mean, this year they suffered an injury themselves with Jimmy Butler. But I really think that the Knicks are setting themselves up for long-term success, and that should give Knicks fans some excitement. We needed to run it back with Randall and a healthy Knicks team. I agree, Donovan. I agree. He disagrees. I'm not running it back. I was patient enough for 4 years. We need some upgrades. Only 2 teams ran it back. Golden State 2017, Chicago 97. Yeah, I mean, listen, who are we going to go after? I think we have a long offseason to discuss that. You know, you can argue them going all in for Mikal Bridges. You can argue going after Devin Booker, which I've seen people talk about. I mean, I don't know. I love this Knicks team so much. I may be a prisoner of the moment and prisoner of what I saw from this Knicks team, but I love this squad, bro. Guys, don't forget to simply hit the like button if you're enjoying the show here on Knicks Media. I appreciate you guys tuning into the show. Jalen Brunson, all indications are pointing to him signing a 4-year, $156 million contract extension, which will provide 5 more years of certainty in New York rather than waiting until next summer for a 5-year, $270 million extension. Big news here. Really, really big news here, folks. This is what we like to see from the face of our Knicks squad. Let's not forget we were 14-2, I believe, with OG Brunson and Randall healthy. Yeah, we were something like that. I mean, I hate the people that are saying that we are a better basketball team without Julius Randle. I think that is so lazy and wrong, personally. I really do. Bring Bridges, and we need 3 more wing defenders that score and defend. I honestly do not think you can have both OG and Mikal Bridges. It's one of the two. It's either you have OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges. Who would you prefer? That's an interesting debate because that's the decision. You can't have them both, that's for sure. You can't have them both unless you ship Randall off. I mean, that's another thing. Is Julius Randle returning? Because he could be traded. I think that the one thing I learned from this season with the Knicks is nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Because I'll be the first to admit that I did not see the trade of R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley coming. I didn't see it coming. I don't think a lot of Knicks fans saw it coming. I think in hindsight, you look back, it was the right trade, but in the moment, we were like, what? So I don't think there's anybody on this Knicks roster that's safe besides the Villanova boys. That's who I think will stay put. We shall see. You can have them both. I mean, you could, but who's coming up? I mean, you're talking about a starting 5 of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Hartenstein. Where is Mikal Bridges fitting that? Who's coming off the bench? Is Dante going to the bench? And then, I mean, we're playing like big at the 2. I don't think that's the case. I don't think OG and Mikal Bridges can work together. I mean, they would work together. They're great players. You talk DiVincenzo off the bench. So you're telling me Mikal Bridges is the number 2? That's a big, big lineup. You're talking about Brunson at the 1, Mikal Bridges at the 2, OG at the 3, Randall at the 4, Hartenstein at the 5. I mean, that is a big, long team with Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, and Deuce McBride and Robinson off the bench. I mean, listen, you can convince me about that, but that's a crazy starting 5. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Now, I'm not saying I'm against that. Definitely not against that. That's not what I'm saying here. But I want to keep OG for sure. I mean, the only thing about OG that's concerning is the injuries, of course. But I really, really want the Knicks to double down. You could just put Mikal at shooting guard since he plays either guard forward. OG technically could too, but I like him more as small forward. Yeah, listen, man. I mean, this is also a positionless league now where it's like the wing position where it used to be point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, 1 through 5. Now I feel like it's becoming different. You got a combo guard who can play the 1 and the 2. You got the wing who can line up at the 2 through the 4. I mean, the NBA is evolving. So I see it. I can see it. And yeah, you're right. Minnesota is an example that are elite with their length. I mean, they got 2 centers playing out there on the front court. We shall see. I don't think Mikal Bridges is the only guy to look out for. I also don't know if the Knicks can afford it contractually, though. That's another thing, guys. Okay, fit all you want, but how the heck can the Knicks afford signing OG to an extension, trading for Mikal Bridges? I mean, I don't know if that's going to work on the books, folks. You're going to have to give away, like, that's another reason why I said that. You're going to have to get rid of OG, let him walk to fit in Mikal's contract. Like, I don't know. It's also a money thing. I got to look deeper into the contracts and the cap space and all things for the Knicks, for sure. But as of right now, that seems a little bit unlikely. Hartenstein is interesting because he has an opportunity to sign a deal with the Knicks for less money than another team would offer him. It's either he takes 16, 17 mil with the Knicks per year, or another team offers him 20 mil and he goes somewhere else. That's what the decision is. You would have to trade Randall for Mikal. That doesn't sound good to me. Yeah, exactly. Like, guys, we can't just trade for Mikal Bridges and not expect there to be some contracts involved. You have to pay OG. This isn't NBA 2K, right? It's a little more complicated than that. Little more complicated with that. What are you doing with Mitch? That's another conversation. Mitchell Robinson signed an extension. He's locked up long-term, but do you want to trade him away because he's too injury-prone? What's his trade value even? I love Mitch. I want to keep him. But at the same time, it's going to be tough. Bojan, Mitch, and 3 first-rounders from Mikal. I don't think that gets it done. The Nets turned down a way bigger deal than this. They're going to want some type of young, elite asset in return. I know Mitch is young and an elite rim protector, but he can't stay healthy. So I don't know if he has that much assets. Randall was a high performer this year with his talent around him. They were nearly unbeatable in January. A lot of people forget about that. Now, folks, I am curious to get your guys' thoughts of these odds presented by the official sportsbook sponsor of Knicks Media, BetUS. If you guys want to sign up for BetUS Sportsbook, you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500. You can actually predict the exact NBA Finals results, which I find interesting. They have the Celtics beating the Mavericks at plus 250. The most likely scenario they have on this site is Celtics to beat the Timberwolves at plus 150. I mean, the obvious unlikely scenarios, plus 5,000, is the Pacers to beat either team in the West at plus 5,000. I mean, come on. The Pacers are not beating the Celtics in a 7-game series. Let's be honest with ourselves there. The Timberwolves beating the Celtics, I kind of like that one. This is the one I would honestly put my money on at plus 375. I like that one. Good odds. This is kind of what I want to see happen. I like the Timberwolves. I also I mean, the Mavs are a fun team. I'm excited to see the conference finals. I mean, if you guys go to their site, guys, they got a lot of fun stuff on their website. So definitely go check out BetUS Sportsbook, the official sportsbook sponsor of Knicks Media. Receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,500, a 24/7 customer service, and a fast 24-hour payout. Shout out to BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
Shout out BetUS. Now let me get your guys' thoughts more about what you think about Jalen Brunson. Okay, what do you think about this? They also forget that Randall has continued to change his shot diet as time goes on. Randall playing bully ball with that type of spacing opens up for so much with this team. True that. I see no lies. I think KD LeBron should be the first call, if not Malik, Monk, Herb Jones, Malcolm Brogdon. Good bench pieces. I don't know, bro. LeBron James or Kevin Durant? Really? I don't know if they fit what Tom Thibodeau preaches. That's my only thing. Mikal Bridges' value went down this season, and Brooklyn also wants Donovan Mitchell. So Cleveland 3-way trade. We would help Brooklyn to get Spider, and we get Bridges. Now, yeah, you don't got to twist my arm on that one. I like it, but again, this is we're getting more into 2K. We're getting more into 2K. Okay, so I like it. I like it. What do you guys think of this? Do you guys think this is possible? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know other guys that you guys we're not mentioning. Knicks need to make small moves. I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at this team needing to add another star. Mikal Bridges doesn't make us a championship contender. Stop that. I'd rather keep Randall. Me too. I think we're getting drunk off this Villanova hype. I mean, people are just forgetting how good Julius Randle is playing this year, man. They really are, and that's okay, but don't forget it. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Knicks Media. Just because the season is over doesn't mean the content here on the channel is over. We're going to be talking about all offseason news, some players the Knicks should go consider bringing in, some guys within the overall team in general that we have to retain, okay? So let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat, and don't forget to subscribe. A lot of fun things coming your way here on the channel. And I also want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and the support throughout this entire season. Another season's in the books. I had a lot of fun going live and talking Knicks with you guys throughout the year. JB is a true leader, and our team was so horrible on transition defense. With Pacers, we need size and speed. We don't need any more small moves. I honestly think we're just healthy, bro. We're good. 25, 10, and 5. Only 2 players done that and Jokic. You don't got to convince me, Albin. I'm right there with you. What if we go for Bridges and forget about OG? That's my fear. I rather keep... I mean, OG is so good. I know Mikal Bridges is so good. They're very similar as a player. I mean, the only thing Bridges has over OG is more of an offensive bag, but OG's is the better defender. And OG also has a lot of upside on offense that I feel like let's not forget about the game he got hurt. Game 2 against the Pacers. OG had 28 points. Like, if he wants to score, he will score. That's the issue. Apparently, Brooklyn in a trade room said that they will trade Bridges to us. I'm pretty sure they won our drafts that will help them get Spider. So it's not a 2K trade. This is very realistic. Yeah, man, let's do it. If it's realistic, I'm all in. We shall see. I think the NBA draft is going to be interesting because are the Knicks going to trade assets? Are they going to trade their picks for players? Are they going to draft players? That's another thing to keep in mind. The Knicks like to do a lot of moving and grooving during the NBA draft. Do they trade up for a player? What if the Knicks use all their assets to trade up into the lottery and take a player they feel like will take this Knicks team to new heights, getting a contract on cheap? That's something we also have to keep in mind. I don't know who that player would be, but I did see a mock draft where the Knicks traded all the way up. I mean, this draft class is not deep. This draft class is very interesting. It's not the flashiest classes that you'll ever see, But maybe there's somebody that the Knicks love enough to trade up for. You never know. I mean, you also got to give the Knicks credit. They've been drafting so well since Leon Rose took over. They have been. Even beyond that. I mean, it starts with Mitchell Robinson. They drafted R.J. Barrett. They drafted Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride. I mean, these guys, Obi Toppin. I know they're all, majority of them are not Knicks anymore, but they were assets that turned into what the Knicks team is right now. Right? That's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it. So, folks, that's my thoughts of the Jalen Brunson contract news. We're going to wrap up the show here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode on Knicks Media. Jalen Brunson signing a 4-year, $156 million contract would be huge. It's not done. It's not official, but apparently all indications are trending in that direction. So, Jalen Brunson, you have the keys to the city. Sign that contract. We love you. And when you do that, I'll be building a statue for you already, because he is already a lifetime Knick in my eyes. So, folks, hit the like button on your way out. My name is Richie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Salute to Knicks Nation in the chat. I love you all, and let's go Knicks. Peace out.